Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, His Excellency Ambassador Mongy Badr, Minister Commercial. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon. How are you? It's my pleasure to be with you again.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to Your Excellency. Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has met today with his visiting counterpart of Somali state, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, and they held a press conference. How did you follow the press conference and the main points that came during the press conference?
In fact, since more than 1 year, I'm following the development of relation or bilateral relation between Egypt and Somalia. Today, in fact, it was a cornerstone in developing the relation. His Excellency, Mr. Sisi, he received today Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of our sisterly Federal Republic of Somalia. They discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation, framework, and regional development. Also, Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt, he signed joint political declaration to raise the relation between the two countries to the level of strategic partnership. Also, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed that Egypt's participation in the African Union mission to support the security and stability in Somalia aims only to achieve security and stability in Somalia, and it doesn't aim to threaten anyone.
Yes.
Mr. Sisi added in a joint press conference with his counterpart, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, that we were suffering from what was happening in Somalia, and therefore our participation aimed to show solidarity with Somalia,
yes,
and to achieve stability and security.
Yes. Your Excellency, Ambassador Badr, what do we mean by raising the relationship to the strategic partnership which took place today between the two leaders?
In fact, what I mean by this memorandum of understanding that was signed by His Excellency Mr. President Sisi and Mr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud to raise the relation in many fields. Number one, in diplomatic field, it means that to exempt political curb in both countries from visa. Number two, to raise the cooperation in economy and trade and investment between the two countries. Number three, to have kind of coordination in regional and international, yes, policies.
Yes. Also, both leaders have spoken about not only the bilateral relations, but also their talks touched on the regional circumstances and the situation in the Middle East. How did you follow this?
In fact, it's a very important point which you mentioned, that President Sisi, he said, he discussed various regional issues and development, including the security and the political situation in the Horn of Africa region and the security of the Red Sea, where they agreed on the need to intensify effort to maintain peace and security in this vital region, yes, which affect global security. Also, they agreed on Asmara summit between Egypt, Somalia, and Eritrea, yes, which was held in October, 10th of October last year, 2024, yes, represented as a qualitative leap in relation and the coordination between the three countries, Egypt, Eritrea, and Somalia.
Yes.
As the discussion which ways to enhance the coordination on the regional issues within the framework of keenness to support brotherly Somalia as a fundamental better in the stability of the Horn of Africa region. And they agreed on the importance of holding the second tripartite summit to strengthen this partnership. I think this meeting will be held during this year.
Yes. Also, Your Excellency, Ambassador Badr, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have confirmed Egypt's constant position to support the unity of Somal and its sovereignty, as well as the complete rejection of any interference in the country's internal affairs. How did you read this?
In fact, what you mentioned, it's the pillar or the main pillar in Egyptian foreign policy, that we never interfere in internal affairs of at any country, but we can support our brother. In this point, I would like to add a very important event, which Cairo hosts the first Egyptian-Somali business forum under the auspices of Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister of Egypt. The slogan of this business forum, a new economic partnership to support trade exchange and to increase joint investment between Egypt and Somalia. In fact, if we have a quick look about the volume of trade exchange between Egypt and Somalia during 2024, it was amounted about 57 million US dollars. Yes. And the aim to increase this volume of trade to 100 million US dollars. And within 3 years, we hope to increase it to 300 million US dollars. Yes. This, in addition, that Egypt will import many products that we need from Somalia to help our brother in Somalia.
Yes. Also, Your Excellency, concerning that for his part, the Somali president said or expressed his appreciation to Egypt for its continuous consolidation to Somalia during the past decades. And actually, since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, there is a complete support or integrated support to Somalia. So give us an idea about the past 10 years as Egypt was supporting Somalia.
In fact, in this era, the bilateral relation between Egypt and Somalia it's deepened and developed from time to another time. And this bilateral relation, it has cooperation in various political, economic, and security fields. The most important current development it's the upgrading of strategic partnership, as I mentioned before. The second point, security and military cooperation. The third point, it's economic and trade cooperation. Also, the two countries have the desire to enhancing cooperation in the field of combating terrorism. It's expected that security cooperation between the two countries will witness further development in the field of combating terrorism.
Yes.
Given the common challenge facing the two countries in this field. Related economic cooperation, it will be Egyptian companies will go to the Somali market to invest there. And also, His Excellency Mr. President Sisi, he expressed his willing to help our brother in Somalia to transfer our experience in infrastructure, because Egypt is considered one of the emerging market which succeed to develop its infrastructure. And we are ready to cooperate in this, that the two countries have the desire to rebuild the infrastructure in Somalia, which was damaged by the war and conflict.
Yes.
In fact, if I would like to add more points that factors to support this relation. Number one, there is a common interest between Egypt and Somalia. We have much in common interest, such combating terrorism, enhancing stability in the region of Horn of Africa, and the developing economic relation. The second point, Egyptian support to Somalia in many fields. Positive change in Somalia, in fact, which the transformation recently making its attractive partner for cooperation for the time being. Of course, there are many points which we can talk about the historical relation between Egypt and Somalia, which deepen in the ancient of history. As you know, that our pharaonic civilization, they already have a good relation with Somalia, which we call before blood bond. So now we complete what our grandfather started, and we have the desire to help our brother in Africa, not only Somalia, but all African countries which have the desire to cooperate with Egypt, especially in the field of economy, infrastructure, industry, and also in diplomacy.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Badr, how do you see the timing of the visit of the Somali president, during which the whole region faces challenges? Also, how does the situation in Somalia affect the neighboring countries?
First of all,
the first part of the question concerning the timing of the visit while the challenges are taking place in the region.
Of course, there is a positive change, and also there is a challenge at any relation between the two countries. If I'm going to mention the timing, it's a very sensitive time because of regionally now we are decreasing the conflict in Red Sea area because of the ceasefire in Gaza. Number two, we are exerting our effort to solve all the conflict and the problems with other brothers in Africa very, very peacefully. And also Egypt used to support African countries in all aspects and fields. Number three, Egypt now considered is the cornerstone in the Middle East and in Africa. What happened now? It's a proof that the role of Egypt regionally and internationally is increasing, and also it's a very strong role in the Middle East. The last point which I would like to mention, that there is a challenge, in fact, of the relation between Egypt and Somalia, like the infrastructure in Somalia. It's not very well, and also there is a difficult security condition in some areas in Somalia. Also in Somalia there is a corruption and the bureaucracy, and also there is a high rate of unemployment and the poverty. What Egypt is doing now to decrease the poverty rate and the unemployment rate, and also to help in infrastructure in Somalia, because infrastructure attracting or creating a lot of job opportunities for the youth and for the people of Somalia. In future, in fact, let me conclude my interview with you that the future prospect for Egypt or Egyptian-Somali relation are very promising, as the two countries seek to enhance cooperation in various fields and overcome the existing challenge, which I mentioned to you before, to build very strong and sustainable strategic partnership between Egypt and Somalia.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Mongy Badr, Plenipotentiary, Minister Commercial. I really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.
Egypt opens up to the world. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets with world leaders.
وأعبر لكم عن خالص الشكر والتقدير على حفاوة الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة.
Reaffirming Egypt's vision, delivering our voice abroad.